You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, it'll be time for another weekly reflections, and we'll have all the latest sports and the sports results. Now, my guest tonight would be recognisable if he was sitting here in his usual garb of wig and dress as a pantomime dame. Steve Barclay's been treading the boards for many a year, if I may say so, without being rude.
Absolutely.
And he's here to talk about his latest ventures, one of which is Songs from the Blitz at Louth Town Hall. Steve,
That's
thanks
right.
very much for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
And for being so very restrained in the way you're dressed today.
Of course, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. It's Louth Town Hall, 7th of November. Doors open 7 o'clock for a 7:30 show. It hits from the Blitz, the wartime. Yeah.
And Hits from the Blitz, you'll be there performing works, well, the particular names you've got up on your rather splendidly patriotic advertising card
Yes.
here. Max Miller, George Formby and Tessie O'Shea. I think we've all heard of Max Miller, of course, and George Formby and his wonderful, he was a window cleaner.
Yeah.
But Tessie O'Shea might be a little less familiar to us. Tell us
Tessie
about
O'Shea,
her.
two-ton Tessie O'Shea. She had about 3 careers.
Big girl, was she?
Massive.
Right.
At one time, and then she lost weight when she was older, but she was the first one ever to sing I Left My Heart in San Francisco. How good is that?
Well, which we all associate with Tony Bennett, from much, not from the 40s at all.
But she brought it to Britain, and she brought Slow Boat to China.
Such familiar works, and yet we've not heard of her at all.
Yeah.
Why Songs from the Blitz particularly? What was? It seems like a bit of a glum time, sudden death coming from the air.
Well, because the Blitz, the time of the Blitz, the wartime, evokes memories of comradeship, and it was a sentimental time, and out of it came a lot of variety stars, like we had Itmar on the radio stars, and Max Miller. Well, people like Max Miller, George Formby, the war gave them a boost.
Well, I guess there was, not everybody was trying to. It was a community. Everything was communal. Everybody would join together, and everybody was wanting a distraction. So, going to live theatre was the great thing to do.
They always say they blame the start of the war on Vera Lynn's agent.
Do they? I'd heard all sorts of other versions of that. How did Vera Lynn's agent start the war?
Well, they always said if you want to know when the war's going to start, watch if you can see Vera Lynn gargling. That's it. That's a sign.
She was the great Forces sweetheart, of course.
Still is.
Still is.
Still,
Still going strong, Dame Vera Lynn. Now you've got another show as well. You're famous as a pantomime dame.
Yeah, I suppose I am.
You've done much else. I won't want to diminish anything else, but pantomime damehood is your great.
I love it. I'm at the Theatre Royal Lincoln, appearing in Sleeping Beauty from the 7th of December with Vicky Michelle from Hello Hello, Peter Amory from Emmerdale, and Martin Daniels, Brother Water Rat, Martin Daniels.
And how long is that season? Panto usually goes on through to January,
6 weeks,
February?
Yeah,
So it'll be
6 weeks.
Just about up to a little bit after Christmas, I guess.
Yes, but we'll be rehearsing, of course, so that's 8 weeks.
Okay. And it's Sleeping Beauty?
Sleeping Beauty. And I'm the dame. I haven't seen the script yet, but I believe I'm kind of a nursey type. I'm looking after people.
Okay. We must talk about this tradition of pantomime dames.
Yeah.
Why do we think it's such fun? It's such a strange thing to do, and yet we love it.
They love it because the way that I'm a comedian, that's my job, and it's far better if it's a comedian with a frock on, because he does funny things. If the scenery falls down, he'll do something, because that's how we train. But it's important that we remember it's a fella in a frock, as Daniel LaRue used to say.
Well,
Watch your mates. Like that.
We'll talk about him later when we go back there. But it is. It's maybe the most beautiful frock and the most fantastic makeup, but you've always got a great big pair of stomping hobnail boots
Got to
underneath.
be boots. Yeah, got to have the boots. Yeah.
And the dame always gets the best lines.
Yeah, and the dame stands that way. And I said, and he said, and you said. Yeah.
How do you make your own costumes? Do you design your own persona, as it were?
Out of poverty. I was a long time ago, and I was doing a pantomime for Jim Davidson.
All right. Some of those were quite rude.
Yeah, and he rang me up and he said, "Have you got a strip?" I said, "A strip? No, I haven't." "Well, you better get one because you were little and large, and we want you to do the strip."
Still with me talking about his show Hits from the Blitz is Steve Barclay, also talking about his long career as a pantomime dame, among other things.
Yes.
We were just saying you'd make your own costumes, largely out of poverty. You're making half the stuff up on stage anyway, as you're ad-libbing and reacting to what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a sort of all-round art form, isn't it?
It's great, because and pantomime, as I always say, is our children's initiation into live theatre, and long may it be so.
Yes, you don't really want your first theatre trip at the age of 8 to be going to see Ibsen or Chekhov, do you?
No, you've got it right.
You've been doing this a long time. You've been doing it in, I would imagine, pretty much every theatre in Britain.
40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Cruise ships?
Cruise ships, pantomime, radio, TV. Written songs for stars, and I've written songs for myself.
And you've worked with some of the big stars as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You mentioned Danny LaRue earlier on. I suppose if you're of a certain generation in this country, whenever you think of a man wearing a dress, Danny LaRue is probably the name that comes to you.
Well, they say he made drag respectable, didn't he? Yeah, he made it classy.
And he also made and lost fortunes out of it.
Fortunes, but he kept his talent, as he always said.
Yes, well...
He was a lovely man. I worked with him I was his supporting comedian for close on 15 years, and out of that learnt a tremendous amount about performing from him.
You're such a man of the theatre, aren't you? This is the idea of revue and variety and cabaret.
Yeah.
Is that still thriving in Britain?
It's thriving if you make it thrive. You see, like this is what we're doing with Hits from the Blitz at the Town Hall. We're giving them a show. They've not had shows there for a long time, I believe.
Not at the Town Hall, no.
So we're doing Hits from the Blitz, 7th of November. It'd be great.
And what songs can we expect there that we love and we're
Kiss Me
familiar with?
Goodnight, Sergeant Major, Bless 'Em All, Cleaning Windows, Leaning on a Lamppost. And we've got a lovely ventriloquist called Al Simmons, and Denny. He's another water rat.
You'll also be there with Julia Burnett as well.
From Louth. She's from Louth, local girl, but she lives in London now.
Right.
Yeah.
Singing as well?
Sally and stuff like that. Gracie Fields, Vera Lynn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And you mentioned drag there for Danny LaRue. Is drag and being a pantomime dame aren't quite the same thing?
Not quite, but I do it in my own traditional way, and we have our own thoughts about the campology of it.
The campology?
Yeah, a little bit of camp is good, a little
Right.
bit of camp. But when it's too much, for me, it should be a fella in a frock.
Yeah.
That's the gag.
Is this a career you'd be recommending? How does one, if one wants to get a career as a dame, or really just on the stage generally, not straight acting, but on the stage, would you recommend it for people nowadays?
It's changed. It's changed. You have to study now. You know, the openings are not there like they were for me. I feel sorry for the youngsters. I've got a little girl called Beatrice, and she's oozing with talent, but we don't know where to take her.
Well, I suppose in what I will respectfully call the good old days, there were enough shows on in every town that you learnt on the job, as it were, did you?
There was places to be bad. They used to say, there's nowhere to be bad. That's a showbiz saying. And that's very true. Now you've got to be excellent straight away. And
you can't really, where you could go to RADA if you want to go and play Hamlet for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
there's nowhere you can really go and train as a comedian, or you just wind up doing a television show, don't you?
Yeah, but they're doing. I like some of the younger ones. I like the alternative comedians.
Let's just recap. Hits from the Blitz, Louth Town Hall.
That's it.
And that's on the Saturday, 7th of November.
Lovely.
Pantomime season in Lincoln for you as well.
That's great.
Steve, thank you so much for coming and break a leg.
Yeah, thank you.